Mickey Talks episode 24. I can't imagine.
We did it, man. 24.
I mean, that's 24 shows. You know what I mean? Like on the
Unbelievable.
dot.
Yeah.
It is Mickey Coachella. That is Matt Davis. Matt, how you feeling, man?
I'm good, man. Happy Earth Day.
Is that what
Do
today
anything
is?
to save the
I
Earth?
thought Earth Day was the same day as Hitler's birthday.
I don't know when Hitler's birthday is.
420.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, that was the big thing on
I
Sunday.
think today's Earth Day.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's always Earth Day
Maybe
to me.
I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, it's always Earth Day. I live on Earth every day. I want to live on Mars Day.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick before we get into the show, I want to apologize because. All right, real quick. The last couple shows we've done differently, and it's screwing up our viewership. So we're still working on things. Today we're Facebook only. We'll upload all the shows to everything else afterwards, but we want as many people to see it live as possible. Still working through some details.
Yeah, so we're trying to figure it all out. But, yes, if you would share this feed on Facebook, if that's where you're watching us right now.
Yeah, right now just hit share. Don't be a dick.
And just so you
share it.
And just so you know, we're going to be on.
Right.
We're already on all the major platforms. So wherever you consume podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Amazon, Spotify, you'll find the audio versions there, and of course the video versions are on YouTube. And we need your likes on YouTube as well.
Yeah, please just go to everywhere and like it, and then help a guy out.
It's at Mickey Talks Pod.
At
podcast.
Mickey Talks Pod.
Correct.
Yeah. Matt, also I signed us up for X today, but I'll give you that information in a minute. Yeah, but I forget
your
the
first
password.
Tweet? Or no, what do you call it on X now? Is it a tweet?
Your first
broadcast? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't even care. I just did it so people would watch it. But I'm excited today because, I like having my friends in here and people I like and admire. And today is somebody that I've known for a long time, but actually didn't really know well. I knew of him, and I guess it was, 8 months, a year ago. I really introduced myself, and we started talking, and I think we've become good friends. I'm a huge fan of this guy. He's incredible guitar player, singer, songwriter, producer, like all the cool things you want to say. So, Matt, joining us, please welcome Scott Spivey. Hey, Scott.
What's up?
Good to have Matt's
Yes,
not
sir.
clapping. I don't know.
sorry.
Thank you. I'll clap for me
Yeah,
too.
you're damn right you better clap.
I have one hand on the switcher. My apologies.
Thank you, guys.
Scott, it's great to have you in. I had heard your name for years around town. All the musicians talked about you. Scott Spivey, that dude can shred. He's this. And I thought, all right, I'm going to meet this guy, and he's going to be some guitar dork, and I'm going to be bored in 20 minutes. But no, man, I've really enjoyed getting to know you, man, and becoming friends. Yeah.
Likewise, dude. Yeah, for sure.
And I'll tell you, the first time I think I saw you ever play was your acoustic thing.
Really?
Yeah, I think that's the first time I remember.
It's not.
Where did
It
the
was
barn?
The Riverwatch. It was Riverwatch. It was a Sunday fun day.
How long ago
I
are we
remember.
talking?
Oh man, it was like 15 years ago.
Jesus,
Yeah,
remind me.
because you got up. I don't even remember who I was playing with, but you got up and you played Ball and Chain
Real
on guitar.
Were you with Rob Byer?
I might have been.
Or Crushing? It would have
I
been Crushing
think
Day.
it was Crushing Day. I think
Really?
I think it was filling in that day for either Ross or Jim, and you got up on stage and you played
Ball and Chain.
for a long time.
Yeah, that's what I do.
And no, that's when we met.
God, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
but I mean, to really get to
it meant
know
more
you,
to me than the guys.
You did like an extended ball and chain? Is that what you did?
I do. I just start. What I do is I do the song. I can't sing.
Yeah.
But I just in the middle, where it goes, take away the. I do it in like the worst Baltimore. We hit that part and I go, take away this ball and chain, and everybody in the band kicks back in, right?
That's what I remembered. Yeah,
But,
that was awesome.
at that part, the music stops, and sometimes I'll just go on a 7-minute tirade about something I feel like talking about. But I don't do that anymore. It was fun as hell. But Scott, you are, the musicians will be thrilled that you're on. People talk about you in great regard as a guitar player.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
But what really blew me away was your voice and your songwriting.
Thank you.
When you meet guys that are good guitar players, you go, they can sing. You're like, okay, Richie Sambora, I get it. But you can sing.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And then I learn about you. So, Matt, how many guys you ever met that shred, dude? I'm talking about Eddie, Ingve, that kind of playing.
Yeah. Yeah, I hate those guys.
I said to him, I go, where'd you learn to play? Oh, church. I go, what?
Right?
Yeah.
And I don't want to get...
That's something I've known. I'll tell you. Doing Noise in the Basement.
Yeah.
Interviewed tons of bands.
Yeah.
All the church players, man. Best musicians, hands down, that I've ever seen.
Well, the thing with Scott, and I stop me if I go too far because it is your life. But Scott was brought up in a very religious environment. Your father was an unbelievable musician, from what
He still is.
Yeah, I'm
yeah,
sorry.
Yeah.
And you basically in the church band. Were you the musical director, or was your dad the musical director? How did that work?
So I was you would call it a worship leader.
Right.
And I was the guy who stands in the front of the stage with the guitar, sometimes on piano, and sang the songs. But I was also the band leader. So I started off for the youth group band. Like when you are a kid and you play guitar or play an instrument, you know, you're going to go to church because they're going to be the only people that are going to let you play on a stage.
Yeah,
you know?
of course.
And I
How'd Eruption go over at Easter Mass?
So we would do cool stuff. Like I mean, I can remember being 12 years old in our band doing the Trans-Siberian Orchestra. What is that thing called? The
Christmas Eve Sarajevo. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
And it was me and you know Tony Corelli.
I do.
He was the keyboard player.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And a bunch of guys. We put together some really cool like music stuff
in
the church. And then once you finally graduate from the youth band to the adult band, you get thrown to the wolves because these guys, like you were saying, can play. I mean, they can play.
Yeah. Now, Mick, you brought that up, and I swear I've thought that for years.
I
about
never
the church
knew
players.
it, dude.
Scott, make that make sense for us. Because what do you attribute that to?
So
Jesus.
I wondered if that was the answer.
I mean, you pray to Jesus for everything, right?
Yeah. I mean, there's a level of excellence that you try to achieve because of your audience, right? But you're also thrown to the wolves because you'll get there, and a lot of times the music director plays keyboard, and you're just coming off 3 or 4 gigs over the weekend, and you don't know any of the songs.
Yeah.
And they start playing, and you got to know how to play.
Yeah.
And sometimes you're throwing signs to the guys or whatever, or sometimes you're just listening and trying to figure out the chords that are coming next. And
it makes you quite a player.
That's how I really cut my teeth. You know what I mean? Because it's not like the stuff that we were playing at that church at that time.
Yeah.
Now a lot of the church songs have really gotten more rock and kind of country oriented.
Yeah.
3 chords and the ultimate truth, I guess you would call it.
Right.
But the stuff we were playing back then was a lot more gospel, and it was just a style of playing that I wasn't used to because I was into Van Halen and Bon Jovi. And
I mean, that was my question.
Yeah.
I mean, growing up in a church, and is a very Christian church. That stuff wasn't hidden from you? Like, it wasn't that kind of... Did they hide that music and you had to find it on your own?
Yeah, like...
Really?
Yeah, it's a little weird. So it was... Growing up in that environment, there was a lot of... It was evangelicalism in the 90s.
Wow.
And it was very much... I mean, 80s and 90s, pretty much. And it was... As a musician, you couldn't listen really to anything unless it was Christian music. But the problem is a lot of the Christian music just sucked. It wasn't very good. And that was my opinion, obviously. I'm sure it's just subjective, but it wasn't what I wanted. You know, there wasn't a lot of great...
As a kid, I'm sure, as well.
There were bands like Stryper, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And a lot of good, like, Christian metal bands.
Creed.
No, well, I mean, that was like 2000s, but I mean, I love Creed. But there was that stuff, but even so, the crazy thing too is even some of the Christian music, you were told to kind of stay away from.
It was still the devil's work.
Yeah,
I'm not being funny. I mean,
you're exactly right. But I think the reins got loosened a little bit eventually. But yeah, I would have to. My dad, I think, is watching. He'll remember this story. So there was a place on Bel Air Road.
Do you mind if I ask one question?
Go ahead.
Is your dad, he was in the church?
Well, the whole family was. Yeah.
Now, is the whole family still in the church? Like, I mean, does your dad still play with the church?
No,
okay,
he doesn't play there anymore. No.
Yeah, gotcha. Go ahead.
So there was on Bel Air Road, there was the Record and Tape Traders, right?
Yeah.
It was across from the Sizzler. You guys remember where
Oh,
that was?
Yeah.
Right next to it was a place called the Baptist Bookstore.
Wow.
Which was Lifeway Bookstore.
Yeah.
Became that.
Yep.
And you could go in and put on headphones like this, put a tape in, and listen to.
Oh, and nobody knew what you
remember that. So what I would do, because you remember how you could tape over the top of
Sure.
the holes.
Yep.
I would go buy like Carmen or some Christian artist, and then go over across the street to Record and Tape Traders
and dub it.
And I dubbed Dockin', you know.
Now, was it strictly your love of guitar that made you want to listen to that?
Yeah,
you
really.
just knew who the great players were.
Yeah, I skipped the lyrics usually. I just wanted to learn the guitar solos.
Yeah.
I wasn't into the scene, you know. I never did drugs or anything like that. I wasn't into that scene. I just wanted to play music so bad, you know. I used to take and get on my bike. I lived in Overley. Get on my little one-speed bike and ride my bike from my parents' house to the Rosedale Library and check out Guitar World magazine.
Right.
And they got a subscription. They actually got a subscription just for me. And the year it came in, the first one that came in was the holiday issue, and for whatever reason, the only one they do this with is the holiday issue, and it was all like girls in bikinis, like dressed as like Santa, and the librarian's like, I can't let you check this out, and I had to have my mom come in and tell them it was for educational purposes only.
Yeah, Scott wants to design bikinis.
Oh man, but no, that's that, and so there was no YouTube back then, right?
Yeah.
There's no. If you wanted to get a video, you know, you could go get a Marty Friedman video.
Sure.
But they were $80,
right.
you know, and I didn't have $80 at 13 years old.
Now, your dad, from what I understand, and I don't think I've ever seen him play, but guys that I really respect that know him are like, wow.
Yeah, he can play. He can really play.
Now, would he say, no, that's wrong, do it this way?
Oh, yeah.
So he taught you. He did share it with
we had
you.
An intercom. We had an intercom system in my house.
This is going.
We had an intercom system in my house, right? Because I was always so loud practicing.
Sure.
I had an Ibanez EX guitar and like a Boss Metal Zone. All the guitar players know what that is. It's like the world's worst but best pedal.
All 5 guitar players listening to us right now. Yeah,
I'm sure I can name them too.
Yeah.
And I had a Fender like Vibro Champ amp, and I was trying to learn. I think I was trying to learn the solo for "Thank You" by Led Zeppelin. And it was in D major, you know what I mean? And I only played in E minor pentatonic because every song was in E minor pentatonic.
What you just said sounds Chinese to me, so I don't know what that means, but sounds cool. Go ahead.
So I'm trying to figure out how to play in D major, right? And I had no clue what I was doing. I'm doing my best and trying to reinvent the wheel. I didn't know I could just move it down a few frets and play the same thing. But anyway, my dad hits the button, and it took batteries, and the batteries were so dead it didn't beep. It was like squealed like a pig. It was like, right. And I was like, what? He goes, I hope you know that doesn't sound good. And I said, well, come up and help me then. And Eddie did. So.
Does he still? I mean, you guys play together? Like if you're around each other?
Yeah, we don't play.
Who's better?
He is.
Would he say you are?
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah. The only thing I was better than my dad at, the only thing better than my dad that I was good at was probably just being younger. Everything else I sucked compared to my dad.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Same here.
Yeah, but that's cool, man. You know,
see, he was at a bigger disadvantage because he would have to go buy the record. You know what I mean? And slow it down.
Dude, that's crazy. Those cats that learned back then.
Try to listen to the Beatles and slow it, slowing down, Revolution or whatever, so.
I remember Jimmy Page. Was it Jimmy Page or Jeff Beck? One of them were like, I was listening to a Beatles song, and I could play already, but I wanted to, it might have been Sgt. Pepper or something. And he's like, and it came on and I grabbed my guitar and I realized that I can't rewind. Like I couldn't lift the needle and move it. Yeah. He's like, so I had to wait until it came back on. Yeah, it's a funny story. But Scott, music, all right, before we go any further, I want to get back to, I met you officially. We became friends, started talking, I don't know, 8 months, a year ago, whatever. There's just something about you I like as a man, as a human being.
Thank you.
And one of the things I want to compliment you on, and I just think people should know this about people. Like, you are a truly good man. You're a wonderful father, an amazing husband, an incredible musician, and an absolutely delightful friend.
Thank you.
Like, I don't think there's enough people like you in the world.
Thank you very much.
With that kind of talent, you could be a womanizer. You could be anything. You're a good-looking guy. You have every tool, yet you're like a unicorn. It drives me nuts. Yeah, if I had your talent, looks, height, everything, I'd have 94 kids. I wouldn't know 88 of them. You know what? I'm not. That's not true. But like, you're a good man, Scott Spivey, and I couldn't wait to get you on the show.
Thank you.
And my pleasure. Now I would like to tell you, Matt, the funniest story that ever happened between a man, another man, and his son.
Okay.
Who were we seeing? Was it the Amish Outlaws? Who was playing?
It was Corey. It was
Corey,
Social Drinking.
It's Social Drinking. Corey Garrison.
Okay. I know
And
Corey.
up at Falston Barrel House. And Scott and I, we didn't even know we were going to be there. Your son, Liam, comes up. And I meet, what's he, 13, 14?
13,
yeah. Hilarious kid. And was kind of interested in the fact that I was a comedian, I think.
Yeah.
And I'm messing with Liam for a little bit. And we kind of hit it off, me and your son.
Yeah, he likes you a lot.
Yeah, and we're standing there, and all of a sudden, me and Scott are talking, and Liam's there. And this guy walks over. Out of nowhere, dude. And me and Scott are talking. He leans in and he goes, "Hey, you want rum and coke? You want rum and coke?"
Rums and cokes.
Rums and cokes.
Rums and cokes.
It's my birthday. Right? And I look up at him and I go, I'm good, man. I don't drink. Scott goes, "I'm good. I'm with my son. I'm driving." He goes, "All right, it's my birthday." Yeah, cool. Take it from here.
So he goes, after he's like, I bought 51 rums and cokes for my 51st birthday.
Yeah.
I've had 29 of them, and I'm giving them away. And I said, all right, well, I'm good. You know, he doesn't drink, and I'm not drinking. My son's 13. And he goes, and Liam's like, hello. And the guy goes, he's got his rums and cokes. He goes.
He looks at Liam, who's 13, and then looks at Scott.
He goes, Liam is dressed, he's got, soccer boy hair. Just a
great
13-year-old teenage boy.
Nice kid.
This guy goes, that your boy? And I said, yeah. He goes, a little bit of pause. He goes, what's he got, autism?
Out of nowhere. His son is the most nicest, sweetest. Hey, that your boy? What's he got, autism? Within
that was
10
the
minutes,
rum and coke
though.
talking.
Within 10 minutes.
Wait, what Liam did. I don't know if I should say it on air.
Go ahead, tell the truth.
So what Liam did, Liam waited until we kind of stopped losing it, right?
Yeah, laughing.
And the guy didn't know why we were laughing, right? And the guy looks at Liam, and Liam goes, no.
It was
That's
truly
hilarious.
It might have been one of those things that's 10 times funnier if you would have been there.
Right.
But oh my God, Scott and I have laughed about that.
No, that's
so funny.
hilarious.
Oh, it was amazing. Matt, going back, I mean, this is interesting.
Yeah.
15 years when Scott walked in today, he told you about bands that you had with Noise in the Basement. Scott was in.
Yeah, absolutely.
You didn't even realize it.
I know. It's absolutely amazing. And I said it to you before the show. I said, I know we've been in the same room before.
And I literally was like, probably. I have no idea.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know the wild thing? Mick and I both grew up Catholic.
Yeah.
I mean, church players now. I mean, it's like going
my
to a
church
rock
didn't
concert.
have a band.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Had there been something like that, I might have enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, hands down.
And I played with, to your point, I played Friday night with a band called the John Fraze Project. And
John is a. If I could just say something about John Fraze real quick, seriously, like.
He just became a father again.
Congratulations, John. But John, I see every other Sunday at Red Eye's Dock Bar with his band, the John Fraze Project. They play after the bikini contest.
Yeah.
Let your dad know that magazine's coming out. They got a guitar section in the back. Anyway, so John starts playing after me a couple years ago, and I talk about church players and his band.
Yep.
The drummer.
That's where I was going. I played with those guys, and
and
they can play. Like
I
after the first set, that's what I said. It's like, oh, you guys can play.
Yeah.
I had so much fun playing with those guys. Yeah, and they're all church players.
Wow.
And if you tune in, Wayne, their bass player, I think he's the band leader for his church band. And if you tune into his Facebook page, you can see him Sunday morning directing the band, kind of the same way I'm saying. Like he'll call out numbers, so like 4 or 5, 5 up 6, and the entire band follows what he's saying. It's just wild.
Yeah, dude.
That's so cool.
I got up and played drums with them. They didn't know the song. The guitar player did. There wasn't a mistake made. I'm like,
good.
They just followed you the whole time.
They followed the guitar player.
Yeah.
Hey. They knew the changes, and they look back at me like, don't mess it up. You're the only one that's going
So jealous of that, man. Jealous of that.
And then my biggest compliment, we get done the song. It was Highway to Hell, the easiest song in the world. I get done, and the drummer goes, damn, man, you played the shit out of that song. It was like the biggest compliment I could get for putting 4 on the floor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Scott, so when I came and I started seeing you with, by the way, I'm going to say another name. You found maybe the best female singer in the state that I've ever heard.
Am I lucky or what?
Dude, Stephanie Bowen, right?
Yeah.
Stephanie has a voice that when you, you know how you hear a girl sing and you go, wow, that's a pretty voice, right? And then you hear some lady sing and you go, that's an angel here on earth.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah, she stops you in your tracks.
Yeah.
When you can see, like, if we're playing well, we play different places, and I can see the front door, and if people are trying to decide if they want to go into the restaurant where it's a little bit less noisy. If I'm singing, they usually go into the restaurant. But if Stephanie's singing, they're like, we're going to go sing in there. Because she just draws you in. She's so good.
That version you guys are doing of I Will Always Love You, or whatever, that Whitney Houston thing.
Oh, she kills that.
I mean,
she kills it.
Wow, I mean, if you're killing Whitney Houston,
no, I don't mean kills, dude.
No,
I was up
I'm
there
saying
last
you can
week.
sing Whitney Houston, man.
A week or two ago, whenever you were there last, and they played that.
Yeah.
And at the end, I've never seen this for a dude. I don't mean to be rude. Mm-hmm. The place erupted.
Yeah.
Everyone in the venue was like, "What the?
Yeah.
It was insane.
Yeah,
People were yelling, and it overwhelmed her.
Yeah.
I mean, which I made a point to walk up to her and I go, "Hey, you remember that?
Yeah.
Because that was special, man."
It was.
But to me, I'm such a dick. They play it, the place goes crazy, and I walk up and I go, "Unbelievable. That was incredible." And she goes, "Thank you." I go, "No, I was talking to Scott, that guitar playing. It was unbelievable, But no, Scott, you guys are so good. And then that night when I saw you the first time, actually was at Looney's. The first time I saw you, Jim McFall said, "Hey, come up. Scott Spivey is playing with," I didn't even know Stephanie yet. And I saw you guys at Looney's, and you did that thing with the, I don't even know what you call it, where you loop.
Oh, the looper stuff?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I love that.
Dude, you gotta, did you bring that thing with you?
No.
Next time you're on the show, you're doing it. Yeah. I'm watching this from the stage, and I'm just like, what am I watching?
I'm so entertained by that. I seriously just love that. I think it's the coolest thing ever.
I saw that for the first time, like back in the 80s, a Christian guitar player named Phil Kagi. He was doing it with rack mount gear. He came to a church that I used to go to.
Yeah.
And he was doing that stuff.
Was it the Vatican? He's just good. No.
But he was like, he would sing into his guitar and loop it back. He was doing all that stuff back
in the 80s.
then.
No kidding. Because I felt like that was something that came like in the early 2000s.
Yeah, I don't know if he pioneered it or not, but he
Yeah.
definitely was the first person I can remember actually seeing doing it. But,
love it.
Yeah.
Dude, watching you do that night, and I said we had a weird, never mind. When I'm watching you do it that night, I'm thinking, Jesus, I mean, it's one thing to loop things. You go, okay, you already played that. But there were so many layers of it, and none of it was off. Like, it was ridiculous, Scott. And it was true joy to watch. And then 2 songs later, I forget the song you sang, but I literally looked at Jim McFall from Crushing Day, and I said, I don't like him. Talking about you. And Jim looks at me and he goes, "What do you mean?" I go, that guy's not human. Like, I mean, you're an incredibly talented guy,
Thanks, man. Thank you very much.
What happened? What went wrong? No. The thing I really love about you, though, Scott, you're one of those dudes, like a Todd Miller to me, a Ross Tyree. You're incredible guitar players, but you're the funnest, coolest dudes to hang out with.
Thank you.
I knew some great guitar players growing up. They were dicks. Like you expect a great guitar player to kind of be.
Yeah.
You guys are all cool, man. That's what I dig.
Thank you.
What was your favorite? What really made you buckle down and say, "I'm going to get this pinky to be as good as my index finger"?
Yep.
What was it for you?
So my biggest influence growing up to become a shredder on guitar was John Petrucci from Dream Theater. And
really?
Yep. Yeah.
Now, was Dream Theater something you were allowed to listen to, or no?
Yeah. So by then I was a little older.
Okay.
And I think the reins got lifted a little bit.
Loosened. Yeah.
And I mean, I also just kind of listened to what I listened to.
Yeah.
But Dream Theater's content is about like water and dragons and there's really nothing.
It's if Dungeons and Dragons had a band. That's what Dream Theater is.
That's a good description.
Provocative or anything. And it was math rock, and I really loved the way he played.
Yeah.
And that was it. I remember watching the Pull Me Under video on MTV, and I said I want to play that. And I started learning that entire album, Images and Words.
Wow.
And then by the time I learned it, the next album came out, and I just kept going and going and going. And,
did you like Marillion? Did you know them?
I did know them, and I think...
We don't have to get into that deep. I just was curious because I saw them one time at Hammerjacks. I didn't know anything about them, and that was like 5 or 6 of the sickest players.
Yeah, same kind of vibe.
Oh, my
math
God.
rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I played with some of them.
Wow. I believe you.
And I could be wrong, but like I said, I was in that band Orphan Project that did Noise in the Basement with you.
Yeah.
And we opened for another math rock band called Spock's Beard. And I feel like Marillion was either there or some of the guys were there. Or,
oh, that's cool.
I think.
Yeah, that's
I could be
neat.
wrong. If anybody that was in the band can correct me on that. But anyway, yeah.
So now let's cut to, I don't know, 2010, 12.
Okay.
How old are you then? What are you, in your 30s yet? 20s? I don't know.
10. Yeah, I would have been 30.
Okay.
Right?
Good enough to play, yeah. Good enough to play for any band around.
Mm-hmm.
You know, good look, the whole 9 yards.
Mm-hmm.
What did you want? Were you trying to get a record deal still, or you just accepted the fact that I'm going to play music the rest of my life and that's how I want to make a living?
I never tried to get a record deal.
For real?
Not ever, no. I didn't know what it was. I still don't really understand what a record deal is or what it is.
Well, it's this. I'll show you. What you do is you take some songs and you go to some guy that doesn't know anything about music. And you say, hey, will you buy these songs from me and share the profit?
Right.
And they say yes. And then you go, awesome. How much are you going to give me? And they go, well, for every dollar you make, we'll give you a penny. And we're going to keep 99 cents. And maybe it was a good thing you never did.
That sounds familiar. That's starting to sound like the reason why I never did it. No, I never did. I mean, by that point, I was so deep in cover bands and playing locally. And,
yeah.
And I also was teaching. I had a full-time job teaching privately by myself. And that was a really good source of income. And I really, really liked it. I really liked meeting new people. And everybody I met, for the most part, would say, you know, I can't play guitar. You know, I never could. I tried for so many years. I'd have people come in their 70s say, hey, I've been trying for so many years. And I just kind of took it upon myself to get them playing guitar.
Yeah.
And I loved it. I was really passionate about that.
Now,
so that was hard to walk away from because I was just as passionate about doing that as I would have been, you know, performing and playing music.
Yeah.
Plus, I was already, I think by that time I was already on my second marriage, I think. And already, you know.
Third time's a charm, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm owning my third house. Like,
right.
You know what I mean? Like, I got mortgages and stuff.
Yeah.
And the idea of, like, just telling I guess, I can't remember when I got married. She's going to be so mad if she's watching. I think we got married in 2013.
Yeah, that's good. That's the year I quit 98 Rock, so perfect. We're going with that. It was a banner year.
But
for
the
all
idea
of
like just trying to, you know, hey, I'm gonna leave all this on you.
Yeah.
While I move to LA or Nashville and try to, you know, pursue this dream and leave my kids.
But let's be honest.
That was not something I was even prepared to want to.
But let's be honest. She would have done it. She's amazing, dude.
She would've.
Your wife's a good lady, man.
She would have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's why you enjoy what you do so much, because I think she enjoys what you do.
She's really supportive.
Yeah.
And
really cool, bro.
And my biggest cheerleader when it comes to every song I write, she listens to it, and of course that could be on the radio. I could hear, you know, and she's always.
Now I'm going to put you on the spot for a second, Matt. Do you like country music? Be honest.
There are country songs that I like, but for the most part, as a genre, not really.
All right, I'm going to turn Scott's mic down for a second as he plugs in.
Okay.
The guitar mic. Go ahead. You're good. Go ahead and plug in. I'm going to ask him to do something I swore I'd never ask anyone on this show to do, and that's play a country song. Because I want you to hear this guy's voice.
Yeah.
And I want you, I mean, obviously you can play guitar, but Scott, I I hate country music. Every Wednesday I come up to see you, and they play a lot of country, and I mean, I'm not allowed to throw things.
Well, listen, I'll say this about country.
Yeah.
I'll never put it on in my car or at the house to listen to.
Yeah.
But if I were to go see it live, I booked a couple country bands on Noise in the Basement back in the day.
Did you
and
really?
It was fun.
Did Dean do it? Dean Crawford? Did he ever do Noise?
No, I wish he would have.
That's the only I've seen Dean, and I find that guy. I want to get him on the show. By the way, I find him to be insanely entertaining.
Dean's great. He and I have been working together on some music.
Really?
Yeah.
I love Dean, man. Tell him hello for me.
He and I put out songs he written. We put 3 songs out together.
Yeah. You're one of those closet dudes that end up on everybody's stuff and nobody knew it.
Yeah.
I dig that. Now, Scott, there's a song you play, one of those countries. I guess you'd call it a ballad. It's a slower song, but it's very powerful vocally. I don't know do you know the song? It's on the country record that
I put out?
Yes. Did you have a ballad on that?
Most of them were ballads on the record. I mean, there's a few on there.
Play whatever you want.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, Scott Spivey, we're going to talk much more today, but where can people find you? Like, is it Scott Spivey on Facebook, right?
Yep, on Facebook it's just Scott Spivey. Then I have a web page.
Yeah.
Which is, it sounds conceited, but it's therealscottspivey.com.
Well, that fake son of a bitch. He was going around town for a while.
So let me tell you this, too.
Sucks on guitar, though, unfortunately.
There's always a story. Yeah. Always got a story.
He's a bass player.
I had the scottspivey.com domain for as long as domains have been alive.
Yeah.
Right? And I never did anything with it because I was like, I'll never do anything with my music or whatever.
Right.
And a year ago, I was like, you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to make a website.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
That's your website.
And some lawyer from like Louisiana bought it, and I was like, "Hey, can I have my name back, please?"
Yeah.
You know, and he said no. So I was like, "That imposter," and then I registered the real Scott Spivey.
I want everybody to go to scottspivey.com.
Don't do that.
To that lawyer's
Give
page.
Give a good piece of your mind.
Yeah, just
right
tell
now.
him you're going to sue his ass for stealing Scott's website.
Yeah. You're not the real Scott
Yeah,
Spivey.
you're not. We know the real Scott.
Yeah.
So go to the real Scott Spivey. That's SPIVEY. Scott, play whatever you'd like. I'm going to adjust as we go here, hoping it sounds all right. Give me a little guitar that I can bring back into the mix.
Excuse me.
And tell us a little about the song you're going to play, when you wrote it, things like that. And Scott, let me say this is a real honor. Dennis Shockett came here, and we fooled around a little bit. And I got so deep with him that I didn't even get a chance for him to play something like that. But yeah, I think this will be the first like real performance.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And it
first
is,
time.
right?
Very
Yeah.
first time.
But I do. Have you heard the theme song that Dennis wrote me?
Yeah.
I'm so honored. So
I should have learned it so I could start the show with it today.
Oh, that would have been
I didn't
great.
think about it.
That would have
I
been
didn't think
great.
about it until I heard you guys talking earlier. Yeah.
Oh, that would have been incredible.
Yeah.
However, so I do want to thank Dennis for that, obviously, but also Jay Swan. You know Jay from the Mahoney Brothers?
Yeah, I never met him, but he's an amazing musician.
Incredible guy.
Yeah.
He sends me a music bed today that we can just use. I'm going to debut that tomorrow.
Love it.
Like, it's just, and then having you here. Scott Spivey, take it away. Tell us about this song.
All right, so this is the first song I unintentionally wrote for this this project. I think it's the first country song that I ever wrote, and I wasn't setting out to write country music.
You were setting up to write an 80s ballad.
For the most part, I was just kind of like, it was COVID, right? The whole world shut down. All I could do was cut my grass and play guitar.
Right.
And I found that I got a lot of inspiration just by riding around on my riding mower.
Yeah.
And songs would kind of come to me.
And she thought your tractor was sexy.
Yes.
It's not as exciting as that song. And this song really just came to me as I was making the laps.
Yeah.
And I went in, got my phone out, played it, sang it, and sent it to Sean Patterson.
Wait a minute. You got off of a lawnmower, walked in your house and recorded a song?
Going to my phone, yeah. But I have a studio. I could have done it, but I just recorded it. That's how we share
No.
songs.
When did you write it?
On the lawnmower.
Wow. What? That's
What
great.
a dick. I couldn't write a song on a 12-month voyage around the world. You wrote it cutting your... Go ahead,
Well,
man.
my lawnmower hums in the key of D, so a lot of my songs are in the key of D. But I said it to Sean, and that kind of became the catalyst of, he's like, hey, what are you going to do with this?
Yeah.
And I said, you know what? I think I might release a few songs over the pandemic since I don't have anything to do. And he goes, you know what? I'm going to write some songs too. Then we started sending songs back and forth. And then before we knew it, we had like 10 songs and put together a record, and it came together really quick.
Scott tunes his lawnmower.
Yeah, Scott tunes his lawnmower, yeah. Yeah, whenever you're ready. What's it called?
It's called God, Country, and You.
God, Country, and You. Here we go. Scott Spivey, ladies and gentlemen.
I fold all my shirts the same way, he said. That's how I learned it back in 55. It was the middle of hell in Saigon. I had my buddy's back and he had mine. And painted on a picket fence and make love not war, give peace a chance. The young man held it high with hate-filled eyes. He asked me, man, how can you do what you do? I said, I do it from God, for country and you. I got home by sundown, it was damn hard on me and worse on her. But 5 days ran into 6 sometimes. Back then, boy, it felt the pages would never turn. Oh, but every Sunday morning, before those church doors opened, we slow danced to Johnny Cash and June. She asked me, where's your mind always wandering to? I said, I'm thanking God for country and you. And I never grew tired of listening to Daddy's reminiscing with his guitar, don't tell it like he did. It had to be 1,000 times or 2, but every time seemed like brand new. His favorite one, he saved it for the end. It was a cold September morning when I first heard those little cries. Bundled up in a blanket, little tears stream from those tiny eyes. The doctor said it's a boy, and my heart filled with newfound joy. I never thought a man like me would find. I looked around and suddenly I knew I had all I needed right there in that room. Boy, there ain't nothing better, but on the red letters it's true. I found God in country and you. I found God in country and you.
Wow, Scott Spivey, ladies and gentlemen.
Good stuff, man.
Thanks, man.
See, here's the thing that amazes me. That kind of country, I love, because it's a storytelling. You're telling a story.
Yeah.
It's Americana.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I guess in country there is a little bit of something, I don't know what it's called, that you do with your voice. It's a little different.
It has to be authentic to the brand.
Yeah.
So.
And I don't know what that is, but you're incredible at it.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
And I was going to ask, man, that's one thing. She mentioned storytelling. It's different. Is it different writing lyrics for a country song than, say, a rock song? I feel like it's more storytelling.
Yeah, and I love storytelling. And
Yeah.
I love
Yeah,
storytelling
yeah.
songs. You know, I've always been into songs that draw you in, that make you feel like that for those 3.5 minutes you experienced
Yeah.
what that person was also experiencing.
I heard Garth Brooks, I think it was Garth Brooks or Tim, one of those big guys. They were talking on what's that show? Dan Rather. You ever see his show on AXS TV?
Yeah.
Whatever.
He's still alive?
Who, Dan? Unless these shows are old, but I think he is.
okay, I
He's
didn't
like
know.
90.
I didn't know
But
yet.
anyway, he's interviewing one of them, and they said, "What's it like? How do you feel, or what mindset do you get in to write such great songs?" I'm pretty sure it was Garth Brooks. He said, "I try to imagine that I'm writing a soundtrack to a movie
that's
that
cool.
you're going to watch in 4 minutes. The whole movie's 4 minutes long. And what would the trailer be? What would the scenes be
that's cool.
that tell the story?" And I thought, Jesus, what a great way to really kind of explain.
Right.
And if you think about great songs, that's what they are.
Mm-hmm.
Great storyteller songs.
Sure.
Springsteen's good at it in my eyes. He tells,
yeah,
he's always
absolutely.
sounding like he's about to take a dump. But even when he talks, hey, it's great to be here.
I sound like that today.
If somebody came to you and said, Scott, all right, put a band together.
Yeah.
You're going to tour the world.
Yeah.
Cover band. What would you do? Would it be country? Would it be rock? Well, anything you wanted.
I think it'd be a variety band. Yeah.
You'd be variety?
Yeah, I would do rock, country, and a little bit of everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it would be fun. You know, Southland, my band, we're a rock country band.
Yeah.
But we set out to be an original band.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
So we play a lot more country than rock, but we do play a lot of rock. But if I'm doing straight covers,
Yeah.
play everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, play everything.
What's your favorite song to play on guitar live? Well, I'll ask you this.
Oh, no. The one that pays the bills.
No, but what I mean is, like, is there a band you get up with or that you have, and every time you play that song, you're like, oh, I love that I'm playing.
I don't know if it's a song. I think it's just a musical moment. Like if I can get on stage with a group of guys,
Yeah.
and it can be any song. But if all of a sudden the
if
moment
it's magical.
is cool,
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
I'm digging that. And it doesn't matter what the song is. I've had amazing musical moments playing like. And I've always joked that the only person who's played "Sweet Child of Mine" more than me is Slash.
Right.
You know, and I've had a lot of fun on stage playing that song. You know,
yeah, definitely.
But then I've also had songs, had fun playing songs on stage that are just one or two chords, and the band's really grooving it into it.
Yeah. Well, listen, I couldn't wait to get you on the show because I like characters. I like interesting people. I like people with stories. And you're one of those guys. And every other Wednesday, you're either at the local on the Avenue or the Foston Barrel House.
Yep.
So if you're in that area, man, Wednesday, and you're with Stephanie both nights,
every
it's you
time,
too.
yeah.
Yeah, and it is one of the most fun nights that I have, Matt.
Thank you.
Matt, is your daughter at an age where she can watch herself yet?
What do you mean watch yourself?
Does she still need an adult home? Like, could
I
you and the
see what
wife?
you're saying.
Could you and the wife go out till 10 at night and have a drink or two?
Maybe it's more about. It's not about her. She would probably do it.
Right.
I don't know that we're. Yeah, we probably need somebody to watch her.
Okay. Well,
we'll get out. We'll make plans.
Yeah, I would love you guys to come up one night and we all hang out.
Yeah.
Because they're incredible. And it's who's the big dude that gets up?
Steve Mack.
That guy.
He is so cool.
Man, I love that dude.
Such a big heart.
Yeah.
I'll probably mess up the number, but the month of March, he and his acoustic duo were taking all the proceeds that they got from their gigs, and I think they were donating it to brain cancer funding, and they hit a crazy number, like $18,000 or something.
Wow.
Yeah. It was a huge number.
By the way, I'm going to get my brain scanned
and I'm throwing that number out there, but I think I'm actually undershooting it. I think it was really, it was higher than that. It was amazing.
Wow.
And he's just, out of the goodness of his heart, just that type of person. Just a really cool guy.
Yeah, incredible.
Great singer.
Yeah.
Great personality. He plays, if you check him out, you'll love him. Country singer, too, so he's really
The
good.
thing I like about coming to see you is when other musicians that I respect come up and they're like, dude, this guy's incredible. Like, that's my favorite part, like, with my friends.
Yeah.
When I know, like, if Scott tells me, oh, my God, that guy's amazing, I'm like, even if I don't know, I know because Scott said it. And vice versa. Like,
Right.
dudes talk about you that way. But you have an unbelievable love for comedy.
I do like
You do. And the one thing you said, you go, my wife tells me I'm not funny. Or how does she say it?
She says I'm the funniest person I know until I'm telling jokes.
Right, yeah. Which I think is hilarious.
She's like, you were the funniest person I know until you start telling jokes. I start telling jokes, and she goes, oh, God, and just walks out of the room.
But you're hilarious.
And I'm the only one laughing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, no, yeah. I always thought, it would have been cool to try to get into. I like making people laugh.
Yeah.
And
have you ever written funny, like, comedy songs?
No, I don't think so. Not that I can remember, but that would be fun to try to do.
You know what makes comedy songs even more funny is when they're played like flawlessly. Like when the music is amazing. So you'd probably
that's why
comedy.
Steel Panther absolutely slays me.
They're hilarious.
And I don't know if you guys know this, but like the Steel Panther thing is a rip-off of Mickey. Of the Great White Line Snake.
I know.
I'm not going to lie.
I remember.
I mean,
I was there.
Doing it. Was I not doing it before?
I was there at the barn.
Yeah, dude.
I was totally there. Yeah, Great White Line Snake. It was awesome.
And that was before Steel Panther. I did the exact same thing, dude.
Those guys came from what's the big club out in L.A.?
Yeah, the Viper Room. Well, they started.
Not the Viper Room. It was
the whole thing started at the Sunset. The Rainbow.
The Rainbow. They were the house band there.
Yes.
They were called Metal Shop at the
Metal
time.
Shop.
Metal Shop.
Yeah.
And then Johnny Depp opened the Viper Room.
Yeah.
And they started doing every Sunday night. And it was all musicians. And I went out, I forget the year, 2000, maybe 2001. And with Mitch, I met Mitch out there. And he goes, come on, you got to see this thing. And I'm like, what is it? He's like, what were they called again? Metal Shop?
Metal Shop, yeah.
And he goes, Metal Shop. I go, dude, I hate metal. He goes, bro, come on, right? Because I thought it was going to be like metal.
Yeah.
Right? And I walk in, and the stage is dark, and I'm like, this room's cool. And I look around, and I'm like, holy crap, that's the dude from Korn.
Yeah.
Oh,
Slash
my God.
jumps up.
Yeah, look, I'm
Alice
looking
in
around.
Chains
Yeah,
in the
I'm looking
house.
around, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, my God, where am I? These four dudes walk on stage in full spandex.
Right.
There's sirens going, smoke machines, woo, and then the dude comes, you wanted the best. You got a group of guys that are, okay. Like, it's this funniest thing. They get on stage, they rip. I think they opened with Hot for Teacher.
Yeah.
Right? Shredded.
They can all play.
And I'm like, what the hell?
Satchel.
They get done the first song, and Satchel's
the guy, dude.
The guitar player looks over at Michael Starr, and he goes, to the crowd, I just wanted to say I'm sorry for our singer. Normally he's pretty good. Tonight, clearly he sucks. Right? And I don't get it at first. Right? Yeah. And Michael Starr, is looking back like, dude, why did you say that? And then it gets real awkward.
Right.
And he's like, I don't know. We were arguing backstage about Jolie, and then they start arguing about a girl, and I'm like, I'm watching this, and I'm going, and then the bass player walks up to the mic, and he grabs, I can only explain it if you see it, he grabs the mic, and he goes, with his hair, he flips it, and he goes, oh, this isn't a mirror. And he walks away, and they rip into another song.
They're hilarious.
And immediately I went,
yeah.
Oh, my God, I get it.
They're great.
And I would not leave. I was like a girl. I'm up front. You guys are awesome. Like, they were so funny, man.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm making this announcement. I've been waiting for you to get here, and I'm putting you on the spot. I am assembling a super group, a Baltimore super group. Now, listen, it might have 10 members by the time I'm done. But this band I'm going to put together, we're going to play 3 or 4 times a year. I'm just sending everybody the songs and the keys, learn them.
Okay.
We'll get together here at the theater, rehearse it, and then we're doing it.
All right, I'm in.
You in?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, good.
Wow, cool.
Dude, this is going to be, I might have 2 drummers.
I will not be a part of this.
Listen, I'm going to have, here's my idea. I want 2 drummers like the Grateful Dead.
Yeah.
But one drummer just plays really good, solid, and the other one's a show guy.
Yeah.
So if he screws up, the other one's okay. You know what I mean? And if you're bored watching the really good drummer, just look at the other guy. So that's the kind of band I'm building. And it's going to be hilarious. But you're in it,
Yeah,
dude.
I'll do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like
and
fun.
then I got to find a little person that can play an instrument, like a little, like, you know what I mean?
Like a really little,
yeah, like a, whatever that word is. Are they little people?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I need a little person in the band because I don't want to be the smallest guy in the band anymore. I'm sick of being that in the photos. I'm always like this in every band photo I'm in. I'm like, my arms way up here.
We'll get you a phone book, man.
Nah, that's what, do you guys remember Dress to Kill, the Kiss album? If you look close, Paul Stanley is next to Gene Simmons, and he's on his toes, and they show it. It's hilarious. But I am putting a super group together.
That'd be fun.
You're in.
I'm in, yeah.
Yeah. And
I'm already in the theater waiting.
We're doing all, like, punk rock versions of TV shows. No, TV theme songs.
Sounds cool, though.
Yeah, wouldn't that be awesome? Hey, do you know, I want to do this one with you. Do you know Jailhouse Rock? Because you
going to sing it?
Yeah, this is an idea, Matt. What do you think of this? Yeah.
Is it in D? It's in D, I think, right?
Yeah, Dave.
This is perfect for you, man.
But listen to these words.
Yeah.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3. This is a story about a man named Jed. Poor mountaineer barely kept his family fed. Then one day they were shooting at some food. Up through the ground came a bubbly crude. Let's rock. Everybody, let's rock.
Yeah.
Everybody in the whole farm town was dancing to the clam pit rock. Next thing you know, old Jed's a millionaire. 10 folks said, Jed, move away from there. Said California is the place you ought to be. Loaded up the truck and then they moved to Beverly. Let's rock. Everybody, let's rock. Everybody in the whole damn town was dancing to the clam pit rock. That's good. But you know who gave me that? Timmy Steele.
Really?
30 years ago said you ought to do that with that song. And I've been wanting to do it ever since. That was so fun, dude.
I'm sorry, I didn't know it better.
No, that's hilarious, though. Next Wednesday night, I'm doing it.
All right, I'm in.
And did you ever learn the song I gave you?
What did you give me?
Ooh La La.
Did you give me a song?
You all know it next week. That was in February. I'm just messing with you.
What month is it?
Yeah, we're close enough. Scott, when you look back, let's go back to the church thing just for a second, not about church. When you're playing in a situation like that, do you feel like you do playing in a band? Like when you're in the church and you're ripping, is it the same energy that like if you're in a bar or at a theater and people are there, is it the same energy coming back?
It was so long ago. A lot of the things that we did, one of the things I like to do still to this day is improvisation. On stage improvisation.
Yeah.
And in that period of time, it was the 90s, doing improv on stage.
Yeah.
They call it, being led by the Spirit. It was what was exciting about it.
So wait a minute. All these years I've been saying stream of conscious, and all it is been the Holy Spirit.
The Holy Ghost.
The Holy Ghost has been doing what a sick son of a gun that Holy Ghost is. Inspire me like that. But no, that's what they say.
But that's what it was. And then, so what was fun for me is that spontaneity.
Yeah.
We're changing keys, we're doing this. And then the people, you would feed off the congregation. What was the congregation feeling like? You think they're going to want to sing the chorus again?
Now, does church have groupies? Like, were there any girls that fell in love with the band guys? I'm not saying it was dirty stuff, but
I think there's a level of I guess
rock star
worship.
Yeah.
You worship the person, because you see them as a position of authority or whatever, and they're singing songs, and so I think there's some of that happens.
I love it. I mean, I'm going back to church. That's what I'm doing.
Sign me up.
Yeah, sign me. Is that Christian rock? Well, sign me up.
Pass the bucket around again. I gotta pay the bills.
And that was Sam Kinison, right? He was up there passing around the plates for money.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. All right, Scott, we're looking for a sponsor for our new show. I'm not asking you for our new bit on this show. And this new bit we are calling Matt's Music Minute. Okay. And we just talk about music for a little bit, even though we've been doing it the whole show. But this is national music stuff. Matt, what is it?
All right, so, the rock and roll fan vote wrapped up yesterday, and Fish, who led throughout, finished with 330,000 ballots cast.
They won.
Pretty much, with over 2.5 million ballots cast. The final order, with the number of votes rounded up, well, really only the top 5 are what count at this point. So Fish at number 1, Bad Company at number 2, followed by Billy Idol, Cyndi Lauper at number 4, and Joe Cocker. So what this means is that Fish, Bad Company, Billy Idol, Cyndi Lauper, and Joe Cocker, the top 5 vote getters, will comprise a fans ballot that will be tallied along with the other ballots to be determined for the 2025 inductees.
Now, who was number 2?
Number 2 is Bad Company.
And 3?
That would be Billy Idol.
Okay, stop right there. The fact Bad Company I can put over Billy Idol. Fish can are you kidding me? Fish.
They got that following.
They're a Grateful Dead cover band.
Right.
They're the number 1 rock and roll hall of...
Yeah.
Billy Idol had Steve Stevens.
They got active fans, man. That's why, it comes down to...
No, they have inactive fans. You ever been to one of them shows? Everybody lays on the ground and stares.
They do some twirling, I'm sure.
Oh, whatever. I don't like any of that crap. Yeah. The Dead, Fish, it's a bunch of stinky people watching.
You would have hated church in the 90s because it was a lot of that.
Was it really?
No, not dead, stinky people. It was a lot of twirling. It was a lot of that.
But I'm not Scott from the morning show.
Yeah.
Huge Fish. Yeah. Huge Fish fan.
My sister loved them. My sister loved Fish,
too. Now, did they... I don't even know enough about them, but they did sort of come, didn't they tour with the Dead, open for the Dead?
Yeah, I mean, isn't one of the members from the Dead band?
I don't know. I mean, I was never a Grateful Dead
Scott
fan.
on the line.
Yeah. I really don't know the answer to that.
Yeah.
But I do know that I hate all that crap. How do you like a 31-minute song?
It's about the culture, man. It's about the culture.
What is the culture?
You go there, you twirl.
Here was my problem with it, and I think this is where the comedian in me always got in the way with them, because it's hypocritical to me, that whole peace, love, harmony thing. And it's like, okay, but you have people, your fans, have not had a job in 8 years. And they drive around in a bus. They just follow you from town to town, selling peanut butter sandwiches, not
showering.
How cool
would that be as a band, though, right?
It's horrible.
You think so?
Your fans. It's like you're leading people out of Israel. It's just a mass exodus, and they just follow you around. Oh, it's horrible.
That would be at every single show. They go on tour with you. That's pretty cool.
I disagree. I think because I think I've heard stories about girls, they get picked up. I don't know. The whole culture to me. I mean, I know dudes that did it, and then, dude, it's unbelievable, man. 9 months on the road with the Dead. And I'm like, well, what'd you do for money? Just waiting on a miracle. You ever hear that line? Waiting on a miracle. Like, Jesus must love the day because everybody got miracles every night. It's just insane to me. I've never understood the
miracle
dead.
meant you got a ticket to the show. Right?
Whatever. I thought it meant somebody hosed you down.
No, you're
once
basically
a month.
you're in the parking lot, and if you get a miracle, I think it's somebody gifting you a ticket to the show.
Yeah, I don't even know why they had seats.
Yeah.
Like, why didn't they just open it up and say, "Come in"?
Right.
Like, I don't get it. They're going to beat Billy Idol and Bad Company? Fish.
Well, not necessarily.
When's the last time?
They're going to be on the fans' ballot.
Either one of you, huge music fans, all three of us, one day in your life where you ever uttered this sentence. Dude, the new Fish album came out. I liked Fish from Barney Miller. Now, you guys are too young to even know what that means. He was a character. Forget it. I hate Fish. And the fact they beat Billy Idol, who, in my opinion, he's in my Mount Rushmore of cool dudes. Like, I love Billy Idol. Fish.
Yeah, Billy deserves to be there. So does Bad Company.
Definitely
for sure.
Bad Company.
Joe Cocker.
Yeah.
What?
I mean, what would you do if I sang out of tune?
Yeah, I mean, dude's a
I'm
legend.
gonna have a heart attack. Yeah. Lend me your ear and I'll say. Freak. I mean, but he could sing. If I'm honest, he could sing. He really could.
The 2025 inductees into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame are going to be announced on a live episode of American Idol this Sunday. And show host Ryan Seacrest.
Wait, Fish? Are we still on Fish, or is this another story?
This is the announcement for the actual inductees that'll be made this Sunday.
On American Idol.
On American Idol.
I'm sure that's what every Fish fan is hoping for. The American Idol debut. Oh, my God. Give me a break.
Well, I'm not sure if you guys remember when Sammy Hagar claimed he wrote a new song with Eddie Van Halen in a dream. Do you remember that?
I don't. I heard about it. I don't know about it.
Yeah, well, it's coming out on Friday. It's called Encore, Thank You, Good Night. Sammy Hagar joined by 3/4 of his Best of All Worlds band, which is Joe Satriani, also Michael Anthony from Van Halen fame, and drummer Kenny Aronoff.
Matt, get the camera on you, buddy. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
That's all right, pal. Go ahead.
Butterfingers.
Yeah.
He said in his dream, Eddie was doing this harmonic thing, and he slid up to like a chord, like a slide guitar, and he wrote a song with that lick. Sammy said, I remembered it. I got up in the morning, wrote the song. He said he used the lick that Eddie showed him in the song. And, it's going to be coming out this Friday. Encore, Thank You, Good Night.
Well, let me say this. I'd rather listen to Fish. No, I'm kidding. I really think, though, that, like, I heard the story that Keith Richards wrote Satisfaction in his sleep, and he woke up, had a tape recorder next to his bed. He played the lick, went back to sleep, woke up, and he goes, his documentary, have you ever seen it?
No.
By the way, anybody that uses the word rock star, it's incompared to Keith Richards, who is
he's the one.
He's the rock star.
Yeah, he is
for sure.
And they go, he goes, I wrote the lick. I wrote the lick. I went back. I woke up. Called Mick. Done. I think I know 4 words he just said, but I get the gist of the story.
Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine you write that riff in your sleep?
Well, he said he woke up and he had passed out in the middle of it.
Right.
So he said there was like 45 minutes of snoring and then this one riff at the end.
Yeah. That's hilarious. Scott, if you, real quick, Matt, but we'll get right back. Who do you think out of not the Shredders, but the old cats, the Claptons, the Becks, the Richards, the Pages, the Hendricks, who's the one that stands out for you?
You know, it's going to be the weirdest answer, but it's George Harrison.
My son would French kiss you. He thinks the Beatles are great, but George is the best Beatle.
Well, so growing up in my house, my dad he's still in a Beatle tribute band called Saving Sgt. Pepper. And he is a huge Beatle fan. And when I grew up, I learned how to play guitar from him.
Playing Beatle songs.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And in fact, the first thing I learned how to play was
Nice.
Do you know "Oh Darling"?
Of course.
I wish I could sing that son of a... All right, stop. Tell the story.
I know all of them. But anyway, I would have thought, as far as I knew, there was no other band that existed in the 60s except the Beatles.
Yeah.
That's all we listened to. And then I discovered that there were other bands. But what I love most about George Harrison, the same thing I love about Ringo, too, is he played for the song.
They played for the
and
song.
He was not flashy. He wasn't a shredder, but he
Agreed.
wasn't
The
like a
riffs are
Jeff
cool
Beck
as
or any
shit,
of that
though.
stuff. Wasn't a Hendrix or any of those guys. But just his input into the song was great. I mean,
the guy wrote something.
I was going to just say that just the way those chords move, it just.
He does not get enough credit.
It's just great. It's a great song.
Who's your favorite Beatle? Is it Harrison?
It's probably Paul.
Paul is the answer. Yeah. Any of you Lennon idiots out there, just shut up. But I will say this, though, interestingly, about Harrison, that I found to be so cool, was like, if you don't think about it because it's not hard rock, but some of those riffs, if you, like, Dimebag Darrell them, just with tone-wise, they're heavy, man.
Yeah, like crunchy.
Helter Skelter is a great rock song.
Oh,
you
my
know what I mean?
God.
It's just a cool rock song.
I think Revolution is one of the first metal songs. Like, that makes you want to punch somebody in the face.
Yeah, that intro is cool.
Both of those songs, you're right. Helter Skelter and Revolution, man.
The Sgt. Pepper's like, meow, meow. Is that him? Is that Harrison?
I don't know, because there were so many rumors going around that,
I heard Clapton.
That Clapton played on it. That Paul played a lot
Jeff
of the guitar.
Beck stopped in, but I don't know. But that is a cool lick.
Yeah.
I like that one. What's next, Matt? And Matt's Music Minute.
So that's going to wrap up Matt's Music Minute. Hagar and his bandmates have a busy April coming up. This Sunday, they'll headline the Palomino stage at Stagecoach Festival. And 3 days later, they launched their Best of All Worlds Las Vegas residency at Dolby Live Park MGM. So that would be something fun to see.
Is Fish going to open? Is Fish going to open?
Yeah, what's David Lee Roth doing these days?
Don't
get me started.
Well, he's going to be at M3 this weekend, right?
Is he?
Yeah. We might be able to get press passes.
Yeah.
We're a real show now, Matt. I'm going to call and demand it.
You should do it.
You're damn right.
You should definitely do it.
Hold on. I'm going to call them right now. Sons of a bitch. What's the number to... I need a number to Backstage Pass. I'm kidding. Go ahead. Let's go right into it. All right. That's the facts, Matt, brought to us by Barnes Paving. BarnesPaving.com or call 443-243-3710. No job too big, too small. Barnes Paving is MHIC licensed and insured, and it, of course, credited with the Better Business Bureau. They're amazing. Commercial paving, residential, crack filling, even available for expedited service. They service most of Maryland. They are awesome. BarnesPaving.com, BARNES Paving.com, or call 443-243-3710. It is now time for That's the Facts, Matt. Let's do it.
So we know that the Vatican has revealed funeral arrangements for Pope Francis, who passed away yesterday at the age of 88. The funeral liturgy will be held on Saturday morning at St. Peter's Square. The coffin will then be taken to St. Peter's Basilica and then to the Basilica of St. Maria, how do you say that, Mick? Maggiore? Maggiore.
Yeah.
For burial in accordance with Francis's wishes. But did you know, they're bringing out all kinds of facts about the Pope now.
Yeah, he's an interesting dude, man.
Did you know that the Pope used to be a bouncer?
I did. And I also knew he was a badass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Pope Francis, long before he became a holy man, he was a nightclub bouncer in Buenos Aires, Argentina.
For real, dude.
And he also said he would baptize aliens.
Hold on. Step up. You just learned on this show that the Pope died.
I'm just finding this out.
Is that serious?
I'm dead serious. Yeah, I had no idea.
The Pope died.
Guess
what? Monday. Yesterday.
Really?
Yesterday
For real.
morning.
He died, like Easter Monday, whatever you call it.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, he had the decency to wait for Jesus to be done.
We'll give it 3 days. He might come back.
Yeah, give it 3 days. We'll see what happens. So they're going to bury him at St. Mary Maggiore, which of the 4 major churches in Rome, it is kind of considered like the one of the old ones that's like the people's church. Like,
that was his favorite church.
That was his favorite church. It's apparently a beautiful place, but it's like simplistic in its messages and theme, and he loved that. He was a very modest man.
But he would open a can of Holy Spirit on you.
Yeah, in a second.
He was a nightclub bouncer, also once owned a Harley.
Yeah.
And he said he would baptize aliens, like
and a
the
lot
outer
of people
space
don't
kind.
know. I know.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know that he was the construction worker in the Village People. No, I'm sorry, I'm confusing that one. So I wasn't that was the Pope of Greenwich Village. I'm sorry, I apologize.
I want that one to be true.
Can you imagine if we just learned you're finally dead?
Right.
Hey, by the way, we kept it secret, but that was the Y in YMCA.
Oh, that would be great.
He was the Macho Man. They were singing. You know what? Look,
you run the Pope-a-dope on you.
If you can't, the Pope-a-dope. If you can't make fun of the Pope dying, what's left in the world? As a good ex-Catholic, I'm enjoying it.
All right, this story from Mickey's Nightmares, I believe. Passengers have to hold the plane together after midair ceiling collapse. Okay?
All right, listen, I'm just saying I draw the line on my refund if I got to hold the plane ceiling up. Somebody's giving me my ticket money back.
Yeah, listen to what happened here. It's not the equivalent of some of the recent air disasters, but it's not good when the cabin of your plane starts to fall apart mid-flight. So this was on a Delta flight from New York to L.A. Passengers were startled when part of the ceiling came loose mid-flight on a Boeing 757. Nobody hurt. Flight attendants quickly responded, and here's how it went down. The passengers held the ceiling of the cabin up. Attendants rushed off and returned with duct tape. The passengers finished their flight in a plane literally held together with duct tape.
Now,
does that make you want to fly, Mick?
Well, there's a very famous story. I don't know if you guys know this. Hawaii flight, I think it was 851 was the actual plane number. Took off from Honolulu going to San Francisco. And you guys may be too, Matt might remember, the roof came off the plane. Do you remember that?
I don't know.
The pilot landed the plane. My question's always this. You know how the pilot's always like the coolest guy on the plane? Like no matter what's happening, you know, you're bouncing all over the place. He comes on. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. We're gonna hit a little turbulence. Those guys always sound so cool, right? Well, how do you sound cool? Like, what did that day sound like? Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. We're going to be flying at about 31,000 feet nonstop here from Honolulu to San Francisco. You know, it's such a nice day out. Why don't we go ahead and take the top down and really enjoy the ride? What do you think? But that really happened.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's crazy to me.
Yeah.
But that, I mean, I'm glad. Was everybody okay? Like
everybody was fine. They landed perfectly, and you know,
once again,
props to the attendees who held the ceiling together with duct tape.
Damn right. And let me just tell you ladies listening, when a man goes to get duct tape, we know what we're doing. We kept an airplane in the air with duct tape.
It really does fix everything.
So shut up about your microwave looking weird. It works. The duct tape worked. Quit bitching.
You got that soundbite ready?
Oh, yeah. Give me 1 sec, but I'll have it ready to go.
This is a story that's kind of going viral. News story, not for the actual news story itself, but for the twins who were talking about it. These two twins who speak in unison did one of the weirdest local news interviews ever.
Witnesses are recounting some of the drama that unfolded on the Sunshine Coast this afternoon. Two sisters have told how their mother and man raced to help when the carjacked SUV rolled on Steve Irwin Way,
only to
find the gun-wielding car thief emerging from the wreck. Here's some of what they had to say.
And one guy, he was up there with our mum, and he went up there, and he was coming back down towards us, and he goes, "Run, he's got a gun." And our heart started to pound, and I said,
"Hey, I just had this. I always wondered what happened to the Doublemint twins. Remember them when we were kids? Now we say, go ahead.
Mum, where's Mum?" And poor Mum was stuck up there, but apparently our brave Mum, she goes, "Are you all right?" Because he had all blood all over his face.
You believe this?
And he goes, "I'll shoot you." She goes, "Hey, I'm here to help." And Mum distracting.
Wait, they're twins, obviously, right?
Yeah, finishing not only finishing each other's sentences.
They know full sentences they're going to say
in unison.
It almost seemed like rehearsed in a weird way, like a comedy act.
But they always. It almost feels like like they did a 20 years later version of The Shining or something.
Yeah, it's insane, man. Listen to this craziness.
To make him look the other way, and he looked the other way, and Mum ran.
Makes me feel drunk listening to this.
This is every man's nightmare. It's his wife's voice doubled.
Imagine you're married to them.
No, my God. I'd rather be married to you or Scott.
Whoosh, behind the fence.
It sounds like when YouTube and Facebook videos overlap. You know what I mean?
It's like one woman buffering.
Right.
And I'll shoot you. all I was thinking about when we were running. I hope he doesn't fly.
They should do color for Major League Baseball.
Dude, that's hilarious. Oh, my God. Matt, that's one of your
Right
best
now,
pieces.
he's running up to first base. First base.
Base. Base. Yeah. Now at bat. Scott, have you ever seen anything that bizarre in your life?
Wild.
That's insane.
That is, I mean, you know, I don't even know. I can't even tell you what the story was about. She told us, but that interview took the cake, right? I mean,
I don't even know what happened. Somebody got carjacked.
Something happened. Somebody got shot. I think it was a horrible story, but
I
these
don't
girls,
know. And then the Manson twins show up and all hell breaks loose.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick, Scott, play us half a song. Let's just interrupt the show real quick. Play anything you want. Here, let me bring the guitar up.
Play half a song?
Whatever you want. Play for, 45 seconds.
Okay.
Just break the show up for a second.
Play half a song.
Whatever you want.
Like anything?
Original, cover, whatever you want.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Put me on the spot.
Yeah, of course.
I know which one you hear. First date, first kiss,
Is this yours?
first taste of a loving. You were my first cousin.
All right, so
No, I did not write that song.
that's hilarious. Who is that? Do you know?
I think it's Brad Paisley, actually.
That's hilarious. Oh, my God. That is so
I guess
hilarious.
it goes, we got in trouble with your dad, my uncle. You were my first cousin.
I can't take. This is a great lead-in for this next story.
Perfect.
Okay.
By the way,
so-
none of this is rehearsed, is it?
No.
No, we're just doing it.
No. So we talked about Kanye West yesterday, came up on the show. Kanye West has admitted to incestuous sex with his male cousin. Kanye West released a new song called Cousins, which he says is about a male cousin he used to have incestuous relations with when they were kids. In the latest of Kanye Crazy.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
As a guy that suffers with mental health issues, who's bipolar, who sometimes gets a little goofy, for the public to kind of stand back and be okay with this, I think the world needs to help Kanye and just start ignoring him. I mean, and I don't even care, like, forget how insane and ruthless and idiotic he is with all the, the Nazi BS he's doing. Just, that guy's not, it's just sad that when you have that kind of money, you can just be insane and no one challenges you. Like, well,
people love his music. That's the part of it that keeps him.
I love Michael Jackson's music.
Right.
He's not babysitting. You know what I mean? I'm not being a jerk.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, OJ would have been on my football team, but he's not going to pick up my wife.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or a waiter. Like, I'm not doing it. But however, I can separate the two.
Right.
Like, I have issue with people like that. I just can't endorse it. It's weird. It's hard to say you feel bad for a lunatic, but I do because he's sick. I mean, this isn't normal behavior.
Right.
Somebody's got to save that man's life.
Yeah.
Put him away for 2 years. I don't mean in jail. Take him somewhere. Yeah, France, whatever.
He needs a
Put him in a
conservatorship,
villa.
right?
Yeah, just help this guy out because he is a musical genius. I mean, I don't know enough about music, but the people that I do respect talk about him.
Yeah, the people that love him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that says something, doesn't it? I mean, when the Kardashians go, man, you're too much for the family. You got to start, take heed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It'd have been like if Charles Manson walked down one day and been like, hey, Bobby, listen, getting a little violent. All right, let's bring it down a notch. You skinned that woman. I told you to kill her. All right? Go ahead. What else we got?
So I know you don't like to fly, Mick, but would you attempt human teleportation? Because it may be closer than you think. Is
Now
what
listen.
they're saying.
Okay, let's be honest here. You're literally talking about evaporating molecules, putting them in something that allows it to travel, reassemble somewhere else, and come back to life. I'm all
They're
for
already
it.
doing it. Yeah.
Man.
Scientists now believe that quantum technology could one day allow for the teleportation of an entire human being. While it may sound far-fetched, the foundations for such an achievement are already in place thanks to decades of groundbreaking research in quantum physics and computing.
I am so glad I'm going to be dead before the future. Do you know what I mean?
I want to see that. I'm like a big sci-fi. I told you I'm a big sci-fi nerd.
I am too.
Like I love Star Trek.
Yeah, I do too.
I'd be the first guy to try it.
No, you wouldn't.
Yeah, I'm in.
Well, listen to how it happens, and then tell me. Tell me, Scott.
Okay.
So
maybe I shouldn't have committed.
Quantum teleportation is not about moving matter. It's about transferring the exact quantum state of a particle to another distant particle, effectively recreating it. So in 2020, scientists at Fermilab and other institutions successfully teleported qubits over a distance of 44 kilometers with near-perfect fidelity.
How close to him do you think you were?
Well, see, he was up there, and we were past.
This is transferring quantum mechanics right here. This is teleportation.
They should
right
test
here.
it on those ladies.
Matt, I don't think I could do it, man.
Yeah, here's what it would take. To teleport a person, the following would be necessary. Scanning and recording the quantum state of every atom in the body.
Yeah.
Transmitting that quantum information to a remote location, and then reconstructing the entire human precisely using entangled particles or advanced matter manipulation. So even the slightest error in any step could lead to fatal results or partial reconstruction. How about that?
Can you imagine you come back and they forgot your hip? Your hip didn't work out, bro. Yeah, you're missing a knee. You're missing a knee. Hey, sorry, pal, your penis got left behind. That'd be the one thing I wouldn't recover. I'd be totally fine, my little tiny body, and then I'd be like, "What's up?" And they'd be like, "It didn't make it. It didn't
Mickey
make
the
it."
eunuch.
Yeah. Oh my God. Might as well be one now.
Well,
Are you kidding?
it also raises profound philosophical questions. What happens to the original person?
Yeah.
Are they destroyed and recreated, or do copies exist? Is the teleported version of you really you, or just a copy with your memories? And would society accept teleportation if it meant destroying the original version?
I don't have enough weed to follow this conversation. It's unbelievable. Like, I don't understand where we're heading, and I'm glad that I was alive, like the last generation of like dirt people. Like we were dirt people. Like we played in dirt. You understand?
Drag out of hoses.
Yeah, like we were the last natural generation. Everything else now is automated. It's weird to me. I don't know. I mean, I sound like the old guys did in the 70s. Hey, my day, man, you took a girl out, you CYO dance, $14, you were in dinner and everything. I get that's different, but what's happening now, no generation has seen anything like this. Dude, Atari was state of the art
right.
in 1980.
Yeah.
If you had Atari, you were from the future. And now, look, you ever play an Atari game?
No, I'd love to, though.
Me too.
Break out the old 2600.
Oh, hell yeah, man.
What was your favorite game?
Pitfall.
Pitfall was mine, too. I swear
It's
to
the
God.
greatest game ever.
Yeah.
Dumbest
Greatest
shit, too.
game ever.
Oh, it was incredible. You just walked along, and there'd be holes. You had to jump over them, climb down, eat. It was a
Did you
great
ever
game.
send the picture in with your high score?
I never did it.
No,
I never.
did.
Did you really?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, how high was yours?
God, I wish I could remember it. The photo probably still exists somewhere. Maybe it's in one of my parents'
See,
old...
you had good parents because you have pictures of your childhood and stuff. I have a pencil sketch. I'm not even in it. It's my dad, my mom, my brother, and sister. That was their family portrait.
Well, Mexico's going to be very happy because Chipotle is coming to Mexico. The California-based chain said Monday it's planning to open a restaurant in Mexico early next year. It's the first location south of the border in its 30-year history.
You know what's hilarious? They're calling it an American restaurant. For real. I read this article.
Chipotle?
And the locals they say it's an American.
Yeah.
It's American food.
Right.
They don't consider it like it's not Mexican food.
Of course
I don't even
not.
know what Chipotle is.
It's kind of Tex-Mex, right? Is that what it is?
Dude, I don't know. It's got a bowl of rice with meat, and I eat it for $49. I have no idea what the hell it is.
Like if we, selling ice to Eskimos, right?
Yeah, it's
Essentially.
goofy.
It's like Olive Garden opening in
Italy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Except, no, the Olive Garden should open in Germany. Because that is the worst. I'm going to stop right now. All right, let's move on. The salad's incredible.
At least one U.S.-based Mexican chain has struggled to make it in Mexico. Taco Bell opened a few outlets in Mexico City in 1992, but they closed within 2 years. They opened another store in 2007, which also didn't last.
What are they thinking?
I don't know, man.
I mean, it's like, can you imagine
decision-making.
if like a Japanese company came here and opened up a hamburger stand? You know what I mean? Like, it's weird. I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't understand it.
So here's a job for you. I don't know if you'd be interested in doing this. There is a lighthouse job that pays the equivalent of $3.4 million American dollars a year.
I'm in. I don't care where it is on earth.
But no one wants the gig.
I do.
Yeah?
Where is it?
I'll tell you about it. While it sounds like a dream, this role remains unfulfilled as people are reluctant to apply despite the attractive salary and lack of direct supervision. This unique position is for a lighthouse keeper at the historic Pharos of Alexandria, situated on Pharos Island near Egypt's Alexandria port. Though it offers one of the highest salaries globally, there is a significant shortage of willing candidates. The work involves simply monitoring and maintaining the lighthouse light to guide ships away from hazardous rocks. The keeper
what's it, like an ISIS
freedom.
Headquarters? Like, what's the problem?
Well, I'll tell you, they enjoy freedom from daily work pressure, can spend their day as they please without constant oversight. But here it is. Isolation and solitude, which a lot of people can't deal with.
Jackpot!
Harsh weather conditions. The lighthouse often faces extreme weather, including severe storms with towering ocean waves that sometimes engulf the structure.
I'm out.
The keeper must ensure the light remains on, even in the dangerous conditions which could put their life at risk. If you saw a picture, I saw a picture of the lighthouse.
Yeah.
And it's, I mean, I don't know how tall it is, but the wave is over top of the lighthouse.
I have a question, though. Like, if they can afford to pay somebody $3.4 million, can't they just build the lighthouse taller?
Or couldn't they just move it?
Yeah.
Like, I don't get it.
I mean, I guess they need it in that position.
Yeah, right. Of course, I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
I don't know how lighthouses work.
I mean, you basically... it's a spotlight at the top of a thing, and you move it when ships were coming through the channel, so it keeps them away from running ashore.
Or like a great big wall around it?
I mean, they got usually on rock, or on like an island,
Yeah.
And it just lets them know where the channel is. I don't know enough about maritime.
I mean, it's big business. A port, of course, is big
of
business,
course.
bringing ships in, so, they want to pay somebody that big money. I'm sure.
They were going to build one in front of the Key Bridge.
Yeah.
But they waited. I don't know what happened. I never heard the end of that story.
They're talking about the Chesapeake Bay Bridge now, too. They don't want it to happen. They say it's not built for that kind
ship
of,
hitting it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
no.
so make a damn tunnel
Right.
so I can go to Red Eyes every Sunday and not have to drop my car off at McDonald's and get a ride.
Right.
Just build tunnels, people.
Yep.
Why do we do bridges? I don't even isn't it cheaper?
Yeah, you don't like bridges, right?
No.
You're more comfortable inside of a tunnel underwater?
100,000%.
Interesting.
You know why?
Yeah.
If I fall in the tunnel, it's 2 feet. I hit the bottom of the tunnel. If the water comes down on me, fine. I'll drown. But if I fall off the top of the bridge, I got 14 seconds of falling going, Jesus. If I'd have just been a tunnel.
And you would feel that in slow motion, too. It wouldn't be fast, right?
Oh, my God. There's no way.
It would feel like a 10-minute drop to your death.
Going over that 4 to 5 minute drive over the, whatever it is, 3-4 minutes, it is terrifying. I mean,
I'm not the only one,
you.
man. They used to have a service.
They still do.
I thought they got rid of it, but a service where the car
maybe
drives
COVID,
you over.
I think ended it. Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes I like whoever's driving me as we pull up to the bridge. I look every time. I go, hey, I'm gonna just put my head down and be quiet for a little bit and play on my phone. Like I literally drive over the bridge, like looking straight down.
You need to be hypnotized, man. My hypnosis mentor, he had a write up in the Sun paper. He found somebody like you who did not want to go across the Bay Bridge, hypnotized them, and got them to drive over.
I think about it right now, like really, and I get dizzy. Like, I get it. Yeah, it's weird. I can't. Moving on.
Yeah, common. You guys want to hear about the 5 signs you've been abducted by aliens?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I know. It's one of them being 5'3" and a real man. Like, is that it? Full-grown man at 5'3"?
So, years ago, you would have thought people were absolutely nuts for giving you the 5 signs you've been abducted by aliens. But all the stuff we've learned over the past couple of years, these guys are probably speaking the truth. A group of astronomers think they found a planet 124 light years away. We talked about that on yesterday's show with life on it. So a guy in the UK named Philip claims he was abducted by reptilian aliens in 1989. He says they looked like small dinosaurs, beamed him up, stripped him naked, and probed him, of course.
Yeah.
He's spoken with lots of other people who claim they've been abducted, and he thinks a lot more of us have been and just don't realize it. He says, these are the 5 signs you've been abducted by aliens. Number 1, bumps under your skin. He claims that aliens often leave implants under your skin. They'll show up on x-rays and could be as small as a grain of rice.
Yeah.
Nosebleeds. He says that he had random nosebleeds for 2 years after he was abducted and probed. Number 3 is strange flashbacks. You might start remembering bits and pieces of memories that your brain has blocked out. And missing time. He says, like you thought you went for a 20-minute walk and then found out you've been gone for hours. Some guy said he's been abducted 60 times. He claims that it happened to him in the 1980s. And then the number 5, he claims, is psychic powers. He claims that the reptilians that took him up somehow opened his mind and left him with supernatural abilities. And he now makes a living as a psychic medium.
Of course he does.
Yes.
Yeah. I have a real problem with the mediums of the world.
Yeah.
Because they prey on people.
Yeah.
And I don't, you don't do that stuff, do you?
No. And I mean, I hope that somebody out there really does have that ability. But
to talk to dead people?
Nobody I've ever seen has convinced me that they are.
Yeah, fish could do it. They talk to all those dead people. Yeah, fish, they've been touring on the dead people ever since.
You know, Sammy Hagar, we were talking about Sammy earlier, claims that he was visited by aliens.
Really?
Yeah, he was not abducted.
Turns out it was just Alex in sunglasses.
So I got it. In 1970, he was living in California. He claims he was visited by a ship and 2 creatures inside the ship while he was in bed. This is from his book.
Wow.
He said, they were connected to me, tapped into my mind through some mysterious wireless connection. He said he made sure to stress that this was long before computers or anything wireless. Sammy said, I was kind of waking up. They said in their communication to each other without actual words being spoken, he's waking up. We've got to go. He says then that they fired off a numerical code, but it wasn't our numerical system. And he said all of a sudden, pow, the connection instantly broke. And Sammy thinks that information was either uploaded to his brain or downloaded to his brain.
Yeah, I don't know.
I would love that, though. If aliens are out there and they're catching these frequencies, I'm ready to receive my hit album right now. If you could.
Do you follow the C5 at all? Do you know about C5?
No. What is that?
So that there's a dude, you can summon aliens. I know a guy, it costs $10,000.
Of course
you
it
go
does.
out in the desert.
Yeah.
And there's like, I don't know enough about it. But apparently there are things you can say and energy you can put out where the theory is a door opens, they visit, they show themselves to you, and a lot of questions are answered. And I've seen like countless reports on this of people being like, dude, I thought it was a joke. I'm rich. I paid the $10,000 just to prove the guy wrong.
Wow.
And it blew my mind. So
I think I know what you're talking about.
I think it's called the C5 Initiative.
Okay.
I might be
Why does it cost $10,000?
Because the guy that did it, I guess, had a lot of, research and development out. I don't know. But it's weird.
Yeah. Okay.
I wouldn't do it.
You wouldn't do it?
I almost don't want to know.
No?
I'm
ready right now. I'm ready right now.
Say that
to be contacted and
Yeah.
find out what they're all
I think
about.
I am.
Yeah.
I think I am.
love
I
it.
don't
Like
know.
what you were reading sounded like something like Fox Mulder would say about alien abduction.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm in. I don't have 10,000. I don't even have $10.
Yeah.
But we can pull our money together over the
Yeah,
next
Scott
couple
and I
years.
will carry bags for people if they want to go. We'll stay back. You can talk to the aliens.
We'll raise the money through the show. Get one of us out there in the desert.
Speaking of the show, if you're watching it today, how you like the new digs? We got the new posters up. We got Matt's new That's the Facts, Matt.
Pretty cool, right?
Yeah, you don't look like you're broadcasting from a funeral home anymore. No, this is great. I mean, the show's been good. We're having a blast. We got anything left, Matt, or are we wrapping up?
That is the Facts, Matt.
All right, thank you, Matt. Scott Spivey, ladies and gentlemen, please go to therealscottspivey.com. Is all your stuff on there?
Yeah.
Videos, all that?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Somehow.
They can learn all about you there. Band
so, yep.
dates. Great. Scott, I want you to come back as much as you want. This show we're going to do every day. And we just like having
We
friends
expect you to know the theme song next time.
Yeah.
I will learn the theme song next time.
And you're going to have to tell Dennis, hey, I'm ripping off your song. But I'm off this week. You got anything coming up this weekend, Matt, we need to promote?
What do we have coming up this week? We've got Ed Hale coming up.
Ed Hale in tomorrow.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Thursday, Huber from 100.7 The Bay. And Friday is...
I thought we had something on Friday.
Is that Fez? I think it's Fez Grimes, comedian.
Is it?
I think I could be wrong. That might be next week. I don't remember.
Nothing on the calendar. You didn't put it on the calendar.
It's Fez. Fez Grimes will be in. Funny guy.
Yep.
So anybody that wants, please check us out. Share this show. It will be uploaded to YouTube And anywhere you want to listen to a podcast,
please subscribe.
We're on. Please subscribe to YouTube. We're
At
still
Mickey Talks Pod.
Still figuring it all out. Scott, anything? You got any shows this weekend? Anything you want to promote?
No, I'm off this weekend. I'm working on music for some artists that I'm doing, but
nice.
Hey, I'm off this weekend, and
every Wednesday. This Wednesday, where are you?
This Wednesday, I'm at the local in White Marsh, 6 o'clock.
And then next week you'll be at the Barrel House, and then it rotates every week after that, along with the beautiful Stephanie Bowen. Who's amazing. You guys are an incredible duo. Everybody else, thank you. We will see you guys tomorrow at 5. Baltimore billionaire one time, Ed Hale, on the show. We'll see you guys then. Thanks, everybody. Thank you, Scott.
Thank you.